People of the Year, an event which recognises and rewards young unsung heroes across the country. Shelby Clark was nominated for her work with Bedfordshire Police Cadets. Despite having chemotherapy, losing her hair and feeling very unwell, she continued her voluntary duties. I spoke to her last week and I started off by asking her at which point she realised she was unwell.
I was quite unwell for a couple of months, but my GP kept saying it was something else. And there's 5 main symptoms for teenage cancers, and I actually had 4 of them. But my GP shrugged it off as being like just a teenager, like not sleeping. The losing weight, she said, was all in my head, and actually sent me to a psychiatrist. The lump I had coming out of my back, which we then found out was my tumour, was she said was a muscle spasm, and the pains going down my leg, she said, was a dodgy hip. So for a couple of months I knew something was wrong, but I didn't have answers. So about 5 months down the line, I went to A&E because I was in so much pain, and 2 days later I was diagnosed with a rare bone cancer. So it's a long journey, but I was happy that I got answers and something could be done about it.
It must have been incredibly frustrating for you because you knew you weren't well. We all know it. We know it within ourselves. You had vastly different symptoms, and yet you were being in effect told that they were all completely unrelated and just, dare I say, growing pains.
Yeah, she said that the problem with bone cancers as well is the quicker you grow, the quicker they grow. So that was a big problem for mine as well. Because mine was in the pelvis, it actually grew out of my pelvis into my spine, and it crushed the nerves in my spine, causing me to be paralysed in my left leg. And from playing football every single day to not being able to walk was like horrific for me. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything for myself. So it was just horrible.
How critical were the 5 months that you, in effect, lost? Had you been diagnosed earlier, what would the difference have been?
I would have had less aggressive treatment. I wouldn't have had to have such aggressive radiotherapy, which actually burnt all my back and caused severe burns. My whole back went black and it was very sore. But if it got diagnosed straight away, then I wouldn't have had to have such aggressive treatment. And that's the problem as well, is teenagers being diagnosed so late. A lot of them aren't curable, and that's the worst thing to find out, especially when they're close friends, is that they can't get better, and it makes you feel a bit down that you can and they can't.
Talking of how you feel, I can't quite work out because I've never had cancer, the sheer strength of character required to go through that treatment. You're told that you've got an aggressive and a rare form of cancer. You're going to require aggressive treatment. What is it inside you that enables you to get through that?
Well, both my nan and my uncle were diagnosed terminally ill before I was diagnosed. So we sort of had the family support and strength through that as well. But when I was diagnosed, everyone says to me if it was them, they would cry every day and they'd be down. But it's not the case. You have friends, you have family, you have such good support. You just get on with things. And like the best way I've worked out how to deal with it is just making something funny out of it. Like, be it losing my hair, I made jokes out of it. Like, I'd go up to people and say, "Oh, I like your hair. I had hair once," and just making a joke out of all of it is great. And the opportunities you get definitely keep you worth going, because you're like, I really want to do that, I'm going there.
How did you find people reacted? Because we in general are not very good at dealing with stuff in general, and at least not being confronted by it so brazenly and so confidently. When you joked about it to people, how did they respond?
If they knew who I was, they told me to shut up. If they didn't, they sort of would just stop and be really surprised that what I've just come out with. Because a lot of patients that I met or didn't meet, because they were so trapped, sort of thing. They didn't have the confidence to like leave their rooms or stuff like that. So when I was in hospital, I would try and like talk to people. We would order takeaways so we could eat them together, and it's just they haven't got the confidence I have. I know I'm very confident, and I just like to get on with things, and I like to talk to new people. But it's bringing people together that I like to do best.
Your schooling was interrupted, wasn't it? You had to pull out of school for a period of time, but you're now studying to go to university.
Yeah, I was diagnosed in year 13. I was actually head girl at my upper school. It come as a big shock to the whole school, and they supported me really well. They got in contact with the OCR, and they gave me an extra year to finish my work. That's exactly what I did, and I've currently got a few units left, and then I'll be off to become a PE teacher in September. So
you also spoke in assemblies, didn't you? You actually stood up and relayed your experiences bravely to your peers.
Yeah, I've been to various schools, upper schools, in the age range of 13 to 24, because every advert you see on telly about cancer is for babies or elderly people, and there's nothing out there about teenage cancers, and it's the teenagers that are becoming worse off because they're being misdiagnosed all the time. So going around schools and telling them the symptoms they need to know, that if I knew I could have been diagnosed earlier, they could then pass on and save a life of a friend or a family member or even themselves.
It's incredible the way that you're turning your misfortune into an opportunity to really make a big difference.
Yeah, I like to help people out. The amount of support I've had, I want to give something back, because I've had support like endlessly through family, friends, the nurses, the charities that have helped us. But I just want to help other people go through something I went through so positively, and if it can be prevented, then that's an even bigger deal than actually supporting someone through it. The
police cadets are a big part of your life.
Yeah.
What do you do there?
They're sort of like my little babies at the minute. I was there for 2 years. The first year, I was recognised for my leadership and my drill, because 2 years previous to that, I was in the Royal Marine Cadets and a Lance Corporal there, so I knew all the drill and the basic moves and stuff. In my second year, I was promoted. I didn't go for promotion because I was having a rough time at home, but they put me forward anyway, and I actually got ranked as the second highest ranked cadet there. So yeah, I was a drill sergeant for a year, and that was the year I was diagnosed. But now I'm currently a CSV, which is a cadet support volunteer. So I help out I'm in charge of the drill, their uniform, and teaching lessons. So,
head girl, leadership qualities as a cadet. You're destined for greatness, aren't you, Shelby?
I hope so. I've always worked hard. I had a rough time through middle school and stuff, through bullying and stuff, and it wasn't until sixth form that I become confident, that I actually come out of myself and made a lot of more friends. So my confidence has definitely grown the past 2 years, and being in the police cadets on public duties and talking to the public, you sort of need, that is one of the main skills you need, is to talk to people, and since then I've not shut up. So
it's funny because very similar age frame to you. I was bullied at school as well, and I was quite meek and quite quiet, and I basically decided sometime around the age of 15, I think 15 or 16, that I could either carry on being meek and quiet or go completely the other way and become basically very, very loud and probably quite annoying as well, perhaps even slightly arrogant. But that was the only way I could then go the other way and sort of beat the bullies. Is that in effect what happened to you as well? Yeah,
because I knew, it got to year 10 and I knew that if I work hard, because the bullying affected my behaviour, so I wasn't the best behaved for most of my school life, and I got to year 10 and I knew my GCSEs wouldn't be handed to me on a plate, and I knew I had to work if I wanted to do something. And to beat the bullies, I would have to do something with my life while they're working in Poundland and Pound Stretcher, because I know there are people that put me through hell during school, and I'm off to university while they work in a rubbish job, and that's better than any qualification I could ever get. So,
university and Britain's Got Talent?
Yeah. When people are going through cancer, they like to do songs like What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, and just lip sync. We just wanted to do something different, so me and Jess,
Jess is your friend?
Yeah, Jess. We were just at home one day and decided we wanted to reword the lyrics to I'll Whip Your Hair Back and Forth, because we didn't have hair to whip, so we changed it, and now it's quite big on YouTube.
And you're both hopefully headed towards Britain's Got Talent?
Yeah, we've not actually heard back from them. We got through 2 stages, but we didn't hear back from them in the next stage. So we're just going to hope it goes viral instead of that.
You've got a place in the Bedfordshire Fire and Rescue Young People of the Year, or YOPI, I think, as they call it. Where are you at with that?
I'm in the final stages. There was a couple of stages where you got nominated, and then you got then the next stage was you had to send in like a couple of words about why you've been nominated and what you've been doing and stuff. That was another stage. I've got through that stage. They actually emailed me saying that they would let me know if I was a finalist, but if the photographer gets involved, gets in contact with me, then I would be a finalist and just cooperate with her. She actually rang me that day, and she's actually coming to the cadets with me to see what I do in a couple of weeks' time. So, and the final's on the 10th of April.
Well, good luck with that. It's so easy for me when I have people in my studio to say that they're inspirational, they're remarkable, but you are inspirational and you are remarkable. And what's perhaps most remarkable, apart from your bravery, is how you want to give back something, having gone through this illness. You want people to go and join the cadets. You also want people to know about the Teenage Cancer Trust, don't you?
Yeah, the ward I was treated on was the Teenage Cancer Trust ward. They have their own social room, so they've got a pool table, a plasma TV, Xbox, the Wii. They've got everything a teenager could want. They've got their own rooms, they've got side rooms and bays, so like you could be together or on your own. It's just amazing. The staff there, they're great. You can have a laugh with them, and it's like you're not in a hospital anymore. You go onto the ward and it's just new everything. It's like just a social room. It's like a youth club, and the age range for it as well is just amazing, and it's all done through donations. So if anyone could donate to the Teenage Cancer Trust, they would love it.
What's the prognosis for you, Shelby? Are you in remission?
I am. I was given the all clear on the 25th of February, so now I've got the rest of my life ahead of me to do whatever I want. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, and take every opportunity I can.